Nice and loose. So, line there, little line there. I think I did this right, but you know, it doesn't matter. Make that too big. It's okay. Let's show boom boom. Right, and the rest of that side of the body, there is a little, this little foot thing there. Just reinforce that that's the side of the body. Move on to this one that's overlapping. That's okay. That was the first one we did, right? It's the first one we did. That's the one that's going behind. That thicker. Just kind of getting familiar with the forms, shapes, the anatomy, how everything kind of gets pulled together. And I don't think it has 6 legs, but there you go. I made a 6th leg over here. This one isn't clear. Oh, that's okay. So this one, I have no idea what's going on here. Completely forgot. I think we're looking at this sort of from a 3/4 view. It's okay. Little scribbles, scribbly lines. I have to tell you, a lot of times these drawings are my favorite. They're not accurate. They're all weird and wrong. You know, I don't know what that looks, what is going on here? Okay. Underneath. There you go. Little leg there. I have no idea what that is. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I end up liking a lot of these sketches. And then, you know, I feel like I lose the looseness and character that I accomplish with these sketches, and that's always a trick. A lot of times, and it happens to a lot of artists, that you end up liking the roughs that you do better. And again, the reason is because you're loose, you don't care. You know, you just don't care. You're just exploring, and you know, it's very meditative. And let's see, what is that there? Okay, I think we're gonna do 2. Is it 4 wings? Could be 4 wings. They do, some of them do have 4 wings. The bees, I think, have 4 wings. Okay. Some pretty funny facts about bees that I learned. Which I'll share later. We'll share later. Just making this. You are here. Boom. I don't go that far out, my friend, but you do go a little bit out. Do another line there. All right, we have 4 quick little bee sketches. We're going to do even more. You're going to see it over time that I'm going to, all these pieces here, most of what's over here is going to end up in my left hand. So pretty soon we're not going to need it. We won't need it. All right, I'm going to grab the biggest one I have because I want to stay nice and loose. Dip it in water. It holds a ton of water, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Let's start with our friend here. And I'm going to go like right on the inside here, over here. Do a little highlight. Let's go right there. Let's keep the shading on the side. And then here, these are pretty dark, so I'm going to just, and this brush keeps a really, really, really good point and holds a lot of water, which is pretty awesome. Let's get a little more dark in there and there. I'll just put a little bit of, add a little bit of atmosphere around this area here. And that'll help separate it from our other friends here. Just grabbing, let's see, we can hide this. I have a feeling that that camera is going to go bust pretty quick. It's my phone. So unfortunately we're not that advanced yet. But, you know, I'm a little jealous of all the digital artists that have their software there with all like the digital brushes. You can see everything. So wanted to see if I can provide that for all of you, all my friends here. All of you, my friends here, my good friends. And you know, that's it. I think that's it. We'll just do that. Maybe a little bit right there. Right on the outside. Help separate them from each other. Super loose sketchbook sketches. And then let's see, not do too much here. So there's more light there. I think I tend to do that. I notice whenever I draw, I always have the dark or shaded side, core shadows and all that, towards my right hand. And I suppose it's because, you know, aside from being, well, it does have to do something with being right-handed. And you're going to be a little heavier handed here than over there. Let's see our other friend here. So we have this stuff going down. This one, not going to bother too much. It's kind of silly. This one's silly. Doesn't need a lot going on. So you see, I go inside and outside the shapes. Right? Inside and outside the shapes. Blur that. And blur that. Like if it's moving. Yeah. Try all these different little techniques, and I don't call it tricks, but something like that. Okay. So we've gone as far as it can go. So again, let's see if we can get a little more bleeding from there. Yeah, okay. Again, got that big puddle there. Use a dry brush to soak up the water. Let's get a little napkin here in my other hand. Now that we're using a little more water. Let's get a little more. Let's see now. We have, what are we going to use now? We'll use, should I keep going? Wet and wet? Yeah, let's keep going wet and wet. Why not? We're already on a roll. That's the technique on this one. That's not that great to draw from, right? I don't think that's a great to draw from. Not that one. Let's see. How about that one? That's the one. I think that's going to be the one. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be the winner. That is probably going to be the friend that we draw from. Let me get, I have a little bit of water here, so, ooh, is that a good idea? That's probably not a good idea. Have my little craft of water there, sorry. Okay, again. Wet. Very wet. We have oh, can't see anything. That's not helpful. These little shoulder there. Don't care about erasing lines. Just really loose and rough. And there we go. Let's prove that shape there. We have a little thing there. And we'll have just to show that it's holding on to something. Just to show that it's holding on to something. There. Boom. That's pretty wild looking. Okay. Kind of misplaced where the wing is. That's okay though. All right, let's get another one. Third one right here. Let's get a third one right there. And then we'll remind me to get some commands in here. Let's do a little just show. Link where you can find all the commands. Let's see what else. Let's go to another one. Let's see. That's the close up. This is from distance. Yeah, that honeybee look isn't that great. I'll do another one from look. Okay, so this is going to be nice and, wet the paper. This paper could take some abuse. It's okay. These are rough. I think I learned that watercolor artists, they've been using tendency is to use like thinner paper now. That seems to be like an appeal, like an in thing, like in demand, is to have like all the paper all crumply and whatnot. And we're just going to do the shape, the overall shapes, big shapes, not messing around with details. And let's get our friend here. Boom, 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 boom. And let's see. That was one wing, but we want to get this wing straight down, a little longer. I think these are both in the shoulder girdle there. And this goes out a little further. You can see there's a wing kind of there in the background. I'm just going to do like that. Okay, let these dry a little bit. Let me grab the dry brush here. You can see there's a little big puddles of water. And we use a dry brush, and that will remove a lot of the excess water so that I can come back now and a little bit of the excess water. Okay, just a little bit of that excess water, and I need to just drying it with a paper towel so it sucks out all the water. And this one stays, so the big one stays wet, this one stays dry. And working with both. And I will let's grab the thinner point. Sometimes, actually no. I use a Lamy because sometimes it when it's buckling and things, some points don't do that well. It kind of starts skipping, which is okay too. That's okay too. Right. Just going to, let's go back to this one. Okay, that one. And I'm not going to stick to the lines. You see, it didn't want us to get started. I'm not going to stick to all the lines there. You have that. You have this one here. We have these like all these little, I don't even know what to call them, whiskers or something. Is that what you call them, whiskers? Ooh. A lot of water. I have water pouring down the drawing board. I just felt it. That's good. That's okay. Not the first time. Not the first time. I'm pretty liberal with that water. It's just a lot of fun. Okay. Just, even though it's not there, we kind of draw off the page. Draw off the page. Where that one goes, but here's the body. Bizarre looking. Grab some of these darks in here. A little more there. Some like whiskers here. I have no idea what that is. No idea. We're just like kind of learning the anatomy here. We have our little antennas. I'm not going to make them like solid shapes. Just there and there. Again, I think I missed that one, but that's okay. Head comes out a little further over there. It's like eyelashes or something. I have no idea. We are just figuring things out here. Just figuring stuff out. That is a wild looking bee. I have no idea what to make of that bee. No idea. Okay, this is a permanent drying ink, so I'm gonna do some hatching here. And a little hatching in here. Let's see. Using the other side of the pen point that's a little thinner, especially on the inside. The inside you want to be a little softer if you can. Something I'm trying to be conscious of. All right, let's. What is this? My goodness. Am I gonna regret picking bees? No. All right, no, here. Okay, here, What is this here? I don't know. I don't know what that is there. I am just going to just fake it here. I have no idea what's over there. No idea what's going on over here. So, sorry, B. I have no idea what you're doing over there. There, like antenna thing, weird looking, super weird looking. I know that's not, you know, I shouldn't shame this poor bee. Say it's weird. That's really bad, right? That is really bad. Don't shame the bee. Come on. Ha. Now, there's a big, like, dark spot. I guess that's kind of the black stripe there. That kind of dives in and out of the hair or fur or whatever we want to call it. Let's get a little darker here. Sorry about the shaking. Here, okay, maybe a little more. We have just add some like light forms. And maybe put a little shade, a little dark spot there, and at the bottom. I am lost. No idea what's going on with this bee. There's stuff over here. I guess it landed on some kind of, looks like a pile of ropes. It's like stuck in a pile of ropes, right? Pretty weird. Again, I use that word. Oh, don't. It's not weird. It's nature. Nature is awesome. Especially when you're sitting inside your apartment, hiding from nature. No, that's not true. It's a beautiful day out. I am quite happy. That's here. Okay. Do a little bit more. Let's get another. Give that some character. All right. Let's bring that. See if we can bring this out more. The eye's really prominent here. And because our eyes are so interesting, super interesting, very interesting eyes. You are a very interesting eyeball. A very interesting eyeball. Just layering all the ink lines here. And I'm gonna call that sort of done. Don't fuss with it too much. So weird looking. Oh my goodness, what is that? I keep saying weird. I know, I'm sorry. Should not say that word. Interesting. Very fascinating. That's better. The words we choose matter. The words we choose matter. Let's get our... All right, what do we have here? Another one. Let's see. Hopefully I had a... Hopefully you can see that one. Okay, let's move on to... Where are you? Where is this one? Is it the close-up one? Yeah. No. There we go, that one. Okay. Let's go ahead. And I'm honestly not looking very much at the reference. That's not true. I'm looking at the reference. I'm looking at the reference, but not quick, not too much, not relying on it. Not relying on it, trying to rely on memory and what I have here and trust that what I have is good and interesting and that I retain knowledge of our friends here, our bee friends. Be my friend. So many puns about bees. Oh my goodness. And the funny thing is, I actually don't like puns. They're painful. I guess they're supposed to be painful. I mean, I don't know. They're supposed to be painful. But yeah, they're painful. Another streamer on Twitch has a visitor that comes in and oh my god, the puns are so painful and doesn't stop. It just this person, they just go over and over and just are merciless about these puns. It's hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious, but it's not hilarious. It's really like, ugh, oh my goodness, please stop with the puns. For the love of all that is good, please stop with the puns. And yet, I look for puns for my titles. I try to think of a good pun. Think of a good pun. All right, we have all this stuff happening in here. This weird looking flower. This is, I mean, the geometry in nature is pretty epic. It's pretty epic, the geometry that's involved in nature. Math. So much math. You know? Sticking this arm up. There we go. All right, good. Sticking that arm up. It's got this like, looks like it's got like a fur coat or something or a shawl. You know? Right? That was a little high. Doesn't matter. Okay. And there is like half the body is black, right? Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome looking bee. It's always exciting when you find, you're like, okay, that's it. That inspires me. I want to make a piece based on this subject. And you make the reference yours. And you do that by creating all these rough sketches. Should have used the fine point, not the reverse, but go over, see, yeah, let's pick a little area here and make it like a core shadow, and then it'll look a little better. So yeah, we have like a little gradient going on. Kind of indicates some forms. Just ideas. These are ideas, like not committing to anything particular. These are just ideas. And you know, like all ideas, not every idea is good. Some ideas are great. Some ideas are great, but they're not good for, they don't fit maybe this time around, what you're doing right now. So, but they're worth it. That's what's good about sketchbook. You know, you kind of have something, you have an idea, didn't work out this time, but maybe for something else. So you go ahead and you keep it, bookmark it. I have to be better about that. I'm not that good at doing that. I know I'm talking about this. This is what I do. I always like talk and like, you know, us and we, and maybe you could think this way, and maybe you could do. I'm talking to myself and trying to remember these things and just like coach myself. That's basically, I don't know. I think that's a sign of a good student, someone who's trying to be a good student, is that you ask yourself questions and solve those problems, and you kind of talk to yourself, you kind of teach yourself and remind things and think about all that stuff. So I'm just doing that loud. If it benefits you, I hope so. If I say something wrong, call me out on it. That's fine. I don't have a big ego. I don't have a big ego. I think not. Did I? Maybe I used to when I was younger. I'm a little old. I'm old now. All right, so we have that close up. I didn't really get into the flower thing there. So we have the close up there. Let's see. Have a close up there. And okay. Good. I think we can hide our very nice looking. Oof. Yeah, my phone's gonna die. All right, I'm gonna hide this for now. Take a quick break. I'm just going to charge my phone. I think we're good with the materials. Let's, yeah, I think we could take a break. Oh, actually, let me finish this one. Where are we? Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good, folks. Okay. This one I am going to try to get some ideas down about this flower. I don't know if it's like lavender. I'm really bad with plants. I'm really bad. I had 2 plants die on me recently. I asked people, please don't give me plants. Please, just please don't give me plants. I'm really bad with them. Please. If you care about nature, you care about those plants. Nice rough lines. If you care about nature, you care about plants, and you love those plants truly, do not give them to me. I am terrible with plants. I am just awful. Please. Please. I just did a little rough thing there. And get in. All right. There's kind of where that one. I just kind of went over and did angles and shapes that make sense. And making sense in terms of like shapes is its own sort of language that you understand. There's geometry that's very pleasant, that's satisfying. Sometimes you can't put your finger on it or like explain it, but it is there. Let's have that one going this way, and then that antenna that way. Again, the head isn't so big. That isn't so big, but it's long. It's not big, it's long. So really interesting looking head. It's like a bird. Welcome to the chat room. My friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get another. Defining this a little more. Right. We have a lot more lines here. See, we have that shape there. I think I want, see where the head is? I want that like big protective, what I'm calling a fur coat. Right there. Right there. I want this a little further. There. Give it a lot more body. And let me see. We have that line there. And I still like this line. I'm not erasing at all yet. Notice I haven't done the wings. Notice I have not touched the wings. The wings have not been touched. Let's see, pull off that angle there. And the reason why is I kind of messed up those, those wings the last time. All right, so we have this area here, this little joint. That's where the arms are coming out of, or the wings, excuse me. That's a difference between, I think, bees, flies, birds, is that birds, essentially, the wings are their arms. Not essentially, they are. The wings are their arms. However, bees are a little different. Bees and hornets, they have their legs. I guess they can be considered arms, but for us, I'm going to say no. I don't want that. Just like some little changes here that I'm making. It's my drawing. I want it to look a certain way. Let's see. If it's a little exaggerated, I don't care. I want it to be a certain way. Let's go. I'm gonna move it higher to make it even longer. Careful, I don't want it to go too close to the edge, you know? Like I have it over here. I don't want that. It's too close. That's too close, so I'm going to just bring it there. There, that's a little better. A little too close to the edge, but... And then that one's a little shorter. Let's see. There. And let's go right there. And then, so that this one's overlapping. This one goes, just draw it in lightly. Yes. And I'm going to, yeah, that's. And then that's going to be the other one showing on the other side. So maybe we'll start erasing now before things get serious. And then I'm going to go into just, I mean, the flower, I just wanted to kind of lead into, I mean, look at it, it's got that. This is honestly, it is a good watercolor piece to choose. I'm not doing that, at least right now, because you have that lavender and then you have that yellow that's complementary nature. So we get all our laws from nature. But we're drawing a pen and ink over watercolor pencil, or water soluble pencil, I should say. Now, let me see. We wanted to clean things up a little bit. Let's clean things up. I was afraid I almost there. And then this really hugs into, yeah, okay, it's that area right there should be thicker. So it's like almost covering the whole side of that B there. Right? Maybe even more. Maybe even more. There. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that. That makes me happy. That line right there. Really good. Like that a lot. I like this a lot. A whole fuzz area covering the head of the bee. Okay. Say goodbye to this. A little dust there. I actually don't like that. There. I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking with this line? What was I thinking with this line? It's a little shade. That was getting too. Wasn't looking good. Weren't looking good there. Looks good here. Let's see. Okay. So how am I gonna treat? I don't think I want. Yeah. So let's see. Let's go from here. I'm thinking of the. No. Let's go. Okay. There we go. And then it goes this way. We're gonna see through this body. That's the tricky part. This like transparent part. And we have our wing, and then we have this where the black kind of turns. That's the tricky part, the transparency. That's going to be the wings, how they're transparent. That's going to be hard. That is going to be hard, my friends. Super hard. I'm worried. I am worried, believe it or not. Yes, I do get worried about these things. Let's see. I don't think that's right, but it's right for now. It's as right as we're gonna get for now. I'm gonna draw every single one of these little parts of the torso. That one's bigger. So this is big. So this is big. And then let's go here. Yeah. That be the break. Not as big. And then we'll kind of leave that there. Okay. We'll clean this up. That does not look so good. And now it's going to look a little better. Got a little less than an hour. And then I'm going to take a kind of like a dinner break or something. We'll see. This might be good. Let's fix this here. There's another line that's like pretty obvious now. It's obvious to me now. It took me this long. It took this long to be obvious to me. It's probably obvious to all of you. It was not so obvious to me. Right there. So, boom, boom, boom. Make the sound effects. I'm telling you, the sound effects are important. You think it's not, I'm telling you, doing the sound effects helps. Boom. And yeah, we'll just leave that like that. And we have a nice little variety of these segments of the body. Okay, let's see now. not a lot gonna happen with these. It's grabbing this shape here. It's grabbing this bulb here that's gonna come out, and it's kind of tickling the body. You see that? There's like a little bulb there. It's going in and out. And I don't like that, obviously. So boom, 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 and boom. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. This little area of this like bulb of the plant here. Well, that's why we made all these like odd looking geometric shapes. This is all right, so this is like this inner area of this like bulb that our friend here is eating from. Doesn't have to look exactly. This is my drawing. I want it to kind of exist. All right. A little messy there. A little messy there, but this is where and then we'll create a little oval lips here. Another box in here. Something like that. All right. That's that flower. There we go. At least I think so. I think so. It has a little bit of all these like little. Okay. Yeah, this plant is going to be tricky. This flower is probably going to be the hardest part, so I have to be careful. The bee may actually be easier than the flower, especially for me, because flowers are not my thing. They really are not my thing. So I backed myself off into a little bit of a tricky, sticky problem. A little bit of an icky, sticky problem. So I think the big thing here is to not get too caught up in this flower. Make it a little simpler. Just make it a series of these geometric shapes and be done with it. Be done with it, yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to lighten this up. I don't need to spell everything out. Just gonna make it a little lighter. Fortunately, when the water hits the lines, it'll dissolve and have it spread out, so it won't look so overdone. It's about the bee, not about the flower. That's what I have to think. It's about the bee, not about the flower. I mean, I know it's both, but the flower is important. It's kind of the whole point of bees and flowers. However, I'm going to be careful here. Unless I were to straighten out, should I? No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, that's weird. That's weird. Don't do that. Okay. I had an idea there, and it was a bad idea. Good drawing ideas, bad drawing ideas. That was definitely a bad drawing idea. Okay. Yeah. This is a huge, I mean, look at this. This is a huge, this is not to scale, just so you know. If this bee existed at this size and there was a swarm of them, that would be a post-apocalyptic movie. Hey, Brother Wolf, how are you? Man, those emojis are awesome. It is beautiful out here. It is beautiful out here. I am so happy. I like the winter. I like rainy days, but wow, did I miss the gorgeous sun. Oh. Exactly. Did you watch the I never played the game. I watched the Amazon Prime show. I was friends with hardcore gamers years ago, and when Fallout first came out, oh my goodness, they were all about it. So I watched the series. I don't know how you feel about it. I guess I should watch it, right? I should watch people playing it. I was off. I was always awful. This is a first-person shooter, I think, right? I think it's a first-person shooter. Yeah, I was really bad at it. I was always bad at first-person shooters. I think I played Halo when it first came out, and I was just like, yeah, this isn't happening. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That is good to know. I don't know him or her. I don't know them. Excuse me. Uh, I don't know. I don't know a lot of gamers. I'm uh, still meeting people here. We're trying and painting bees like if it's not obvious at this point. Well, maybe it isn't. It's such a bad drawing. Maybe they're like, what is this? No. Yeah, we watched the series, and my partner and I both liked it. Pretty cool. It was pretty cool. We consumed that series. We just like guzzled it down. I don't know if this is correct, but I'm making it correct. It just looks so odd, right? It looks so wild. I mean, I'm making up a lot of this. I'm paying attention, but I'm also not. I'm also not paying attention to some of the parts. I'm making some lines up. I was doing that with the flower, and I think that bit me, so I do have to be careful. Yeah. I was talking about before I started watching Pluto on Netflix, and I ended up grabbing the manga, and now I'm reading them at the same time, which is, I know it's a little odd. I know that's a little odd. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. That explains why I don't see him. That explains why I've never seen them. Probably. That probably explains it. I have to go to bed early, my friends. And that is my life, unfortunately. Or at least earlier than that. That is wild. I have to say, I admire everybody that's doing these like 8-hour, 12-hour, 6-hour streams. I'm like at right now, I think the longest stream I ever did was 4.5 hours, maybe 5. I don't remember, but I mean, we're talking about I started in February, so okay. Yeah, midnight I am in bed and snuggled by oblivion. Snuggled in the arms of oblivion for a short period of time. Then oblivion lets me go back about my day. What did I do here? Did I want that? Did I want that? Kind of gives it more shape, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I learned pretty quickly that art is not exactly the most played game. I think it's funny that everything is listed as a game. Just chatting is a game. Makers and crafts are a game. Music is a game. It's listed as games, which is pretty hilarious. Okay, I see what I was doing here. Yeah, that doesn't work. Erasing, that's the worst. Oh my goodness. That's infuriating. and demoralizing when you start like putting down a line, erasing, because then it shows later on how uncertain you were in the final piece. We're back. Hello, everyone. We are back. We are back. I left you all in suspense. We have our little, little materials here so that we can get a little extra camera shot there that I created. It is, I don't know how to explain what it is, but anyways. We were left in suspense halfway through our drawing, and something interesting happened, which is and that is that we worked out a little bit. We worked out how to draw our hey, Brother Wolf, how are you? We tried to figure out how to draw this flower. Where's our flower here? Let's get back. We have to go right back to work for sure. Okay. We have our little materials there. If you didn't see it before, it's my phone, so the battery ran out, and such is life. We had our, oh my goodness, it'll be great. You know, it'd be awesome if we had a picture of my drawing board. That would be fantastic if we could do that. There we are. There we go. So we had our little flower here. What we had before, it's an ugly flower, but it is, I need that for just to break this down a little better. And remember that this should not be so detailed. It's about the bee. It's about our bee. That's what we want. We want the bee. So there. We want our bee. All right. Let's see here. Leave it with our sketches. What do you have there? Good. Perfect. Almost perfect. Call went okay. Had a call. A little Zoom call. Seems I always have a Zoom call. My classes are in Zoom. Just a lot of Zooming. It's actually why I started live streaming, because I'm like, if I could do Zoom all this time, all these hours, it's basically the same thing. Not really, but close. It helped. It helped. Okay. We had our materials, our brush. We have a, let's see, I'm going to sharpen this one really quick. I have a, let's see. All right, I have a, sorry about that. That's a, don't fear, that's an electric sharpener that I have, and just needed to get a much better point. There we go. There we go. All right, have an eraser. I think we're set. Let's, sadly, we're going to have to get rid of this, our little material shot, because then we can't see the drawing. And that's kind of important. It's a little important. It's kind of important. It's kind of important. All right, flower. Okay, flower. What are we gonna do with you? What are we doing here with you? Something in between a scribble and geometry. So we will this shape here, this shape here. Let's see, that goes into that, goes into that. And this is going to be the way I'm going to handle it. I'm going to handle it as a wash. Hi, how are you? Keshi? Keshji, I think. I am awful at pronouncing names. And I have such a long name too. You could just say Rock. Or Luis. That's fine. All right. just going to, let's see, that one as well. I'm very, very careful about this now. I am going to, I've decided that this is all going to be very washed. There's not going to be any hatching or anything like that. Keep it loose and all will be right in the world. All will be right in the world. We have so I'm going to leave a lot of this geometric stuff, for lack of a better word. In our, you know what? I think I picked up, is this the right color pencil? Nope, it isn't. Oh well, that's okay. It's the wrong brown. Believe it or not, there's different browns. We're gonna have to sharpen this one. I'm sorry. Just so you know, I don't want anyone to be freaked out about this. This is a electric sharpener. Sometimes I use pocket knives, but this is, hold on, it's gonna sound like a blender. Watch. But it does turn out really sharp. Sorry about that. I know it's not a smoothie. I don't drink smoothies. It's a sharpener. It's a sharpener. It's an electric sharpener. I never wanted to get this. I was always like this snobby purist. I'm just sharpening it with my knife, the way they did in the 18th century. And yeah, that gets old because it takes a really long time to sharpen a pencil that way. So, yes. All right, what are we doing here? We said we were going to keep this simple, and gosh darn it, we are going to keep it simple. We are absolutely going to keep this simple. So the next thing is, once I get in here, back in there, what am I going to do? Do I add more detail for like the pen wash or the pen lines? Do I keep a wash? Do I do a simple pen line and then establish a wash? You know? This is a problem I've had lately. It's a problem I've had lately. For those of you who have never joined me before, never watched me before, have been lurking, whatever it is, I draw animals mostly. And usually birds. Lately I've been painting more watercolor, but honestly, like my strength is more pen and ink or drawing. But I went through like this lull of like experimenting and doing these, like you hit this, you know, when you're drawing, you try to like get better and better. There's always these like, you hit, you know, you just like fall on your face and you have to stay there and you have to get up and it's really like painful, you know, very upset. And you have to like just kind of start walking again. It feels like you never knew how to walk before. You hit that, you know, you hit that point, and that's what happened a few weeks back, 3-4 weeks back. I was kind of forcing this approach, this like, I don't know if you call it a style, I guess, of pen and ink, and it was just bad. It was overworked. I didn't like it. I was so unhappy. So I decided to make life even harder and do watercolor, which is what I, you know, at work, I assist watercolor artists. So you would think I'd be really good at it, but watercolor is watercolor. And watercolor, if pen is unforgiving, watercolor is pretty unforgiving. You have to, it's basically controlled chaos. It's controlled chaos, watercolor is. So this drawing, I don't know if we're gonna work on it the whole week. I think it's gonna end up being tomorrow. I'm gonna see, depends on like how I feel about it, where we're going with this. It's a little bit of a bigger piece. And I used to try to work on these pieces and get them done start to finish, and I was able to do that, but I don't know, it wasn't healthy, let's just say. It wasn't really that healthy to do it that way. And the work suffered, and ultimately that's what I want. I want the work to be really good. I just added those alerts, by the way. I think they're hilarious. I have intended to do other alerts, but I've been pretty, there we go, that worked. I've been pretty, I wouldn't say lazy. It's just there's a lot of stuff, and I wanted to work on making this better. You know, the actual drawing and this. So I picked pirate kittens for. I picked pirate kittens for our alerts. Technically, I do draw animals. Oh my goodness, pirate kitties. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully people like the pirate kitties. All right, we'll do a simple, try to do a simple line drawing here. Not get into too much detail, and then I'll go in and add water. Go in and add the water. So again, this is going to be loose, very like fast. All these geometric lines, they don't have to stay so straight. This is an organic form, and it does follow the laws of geometry, but that doesn't, there's that, how do you say that, oh my goodness, for lack of a better word, that line between the correct and the artistic choice, the thing that we like the way it looks, Some people call that style, right? So we have our, our style, our, laws of composition. I moved a lot of these things. I mean, this does not look like that. It's different, kind of, but there's different things that I did. I changed the wings a little bit. I exaggerated some parts. I turned this into, I don't know what this is, Gundam or some kind of, Bumblebee cosplay. I have no idea. Bumblebee, Transformer Bumblebee cosplay. Who knows? So I'm just getting these outlines, and this is going to be for a wash. So we have our little antenna here. Keep it nice and loose because I am going to add water to this. So these lines are not hard in place, letting them stay pretty loose. My neighbor is here. If you don't know, I have a neighbor. I live in an apartment, and small. Oh no, it's not small. It's pretty good. 1-bedroom apartment, and I have a neighbor who is. What can I say? Sings. Likes to sing a lot, which is fine. I'm all about people's dreams, and yeah, he belts it out. And because we live in an apartment, you kind of pick up a lot of stuff. And he belts it out. See, these are okay, sketchy, no problem. Okay. But this being a little more loose and organic, because again, I am going to add a wash to it. Going back over the lines again to make sure that it is not. I already made all these straight lines. Why do I want to like repeat all that? I don't want to trace this. That's super boring. I mean, think about it. If I traced it, it's the same drawing. It's the exact same drawing. Like, I mean, I understand. It's different. Okay, if I was going to paint, that's different. Then you have to do, the drawing that makes more, I don't know, makes more sense or whatever you want to call it. Say, because you're drawing to paint. You're not drawing to draw, to have a finished piece. The drawing isn't the point. The painting is the point. So you have to be a little more, I don't know, persnickety. I haven't used that word in a really long time. And I don't know why I just chose persnickety, but that's what we're gonna call it. When you have to draw for painting, it's a little more scientific. It looks like a geometry problem gone awry. Okay, See him just moving really fast. Like using marks more than lines, just creating nice marks. Again. This is, I'm going to, you'll see, get some, grab a little bit of water. I don't know how I want to treat that. I can't believe I forgot about that alert. I used to have all these like alerts and it never, you know, it was just never never used. Nobody ever really used the alerts. So I never got to see him. I had this alert, and I still do, of Picasso and who else? And Van Gogh. Oh, yeah, Van Gogh and Velasquez. The Velasquez one is the most hilarious of all of them. It's the most hilarious alert of all of them, I swear. But anyway, can't really go wrong with kittens, right? Yeah, this is hard because this wing is going, so okay, let's see this. You can see this here. Okay, so this wing is on top. You know, bees and hornets, and they all have these wings that are semi-transparent. You know, they have like some like little lines in there. So it's going to be one of the biggest challenges here is still accomplishing that transparency and realizing that this wing here is under this wing here. And then we have a little, I'm just going to indicate it here. That's nothing. We don't need to worry about that. That's the wing on the other side. But this here, that's going to be tough. Especially that section there. And I have to think about it pretty carefully. Pretty carefully. Let's indicate a few of these. Just making these random, you know, the lines that shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. Leave it alone. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get caught up in that stuff. In those details. Don't get caught up in those details. Right? Don't get caught up in the details. Still loose. We're still super loose. You know, we did all that suffering, geometric suffering, so now keep it loose. You can do some detailed stuff later. I don't know what I just did there. I think that's the stem here. Yeah, I was not crazy about that stem. Still not ultimately too crazy about it, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Sometimes you just have to move on. All right, we have most of our thing here. I still don't like, just not sure about this. This I'm making up completely. Didn't like, I think. What choices are we making here? I don't know what I just did there. I don't like it. It's gonna have to go away. I'm not doing any of the fuzzy section, and that is a technical term. I'm calling it, it's fuzzy. None of the fuzzy stuff. I don't know what you call it. I don't think it's hair. I don't think it's fur. It might be. So I call it fuzzy. And I'm sticking to that name. Okay. All right. Well, say goodbye to our reference for a moment. We will say hello to our materials for a moment and just shake out. Just gonna shake this out. Make sure there's no particles on here, because if there's any like eraser bits or whatever, it's going to, the brush and the water are gonna pick it up and it makes a mess. It's pretty blech. It's not good. So I'm just gonna, all right. Let's see now. We have our brush to, have one brush to water, and then the other brush to pick up excess water. So that is what we have. Pencil, goodbye. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Where's my llama? Where's Frida Llama? Let's just get a little bit. Tap Frida Llama for a little love, a little luck, and let's get going. The sketch is where you're like, did I catch the spirit of this thing? See, we went a little geometric. The sketch is a little bit more loose. You see that? See that? A little more loose, but still there. We're still there. We're hanging in there. Did some things differently, but that's basically our friend here, that combination of these two right here and right here. These are the sketches we started off with today. There are a bunch of them. Not a bunch of them, but a few of them. So it's a combination between this and this. I'm including this because this is just scary as hell. This is terrifying, this one. If this was like that size, oh my goodness, I would jump out a window and run as fast as possible. That is terrifying. That is a terrifying bee at that size. Imagine it'll be like that big, like a blue jay, but all like, freak me out. So we're just waiting. We're waiting on this one here. I really want that stain. I really want that stain to happen. So I'm not moving it at all. What I am thinking about is just what am I going to do in some of these areas? Am I just going to follow? Sometimes I just follow the water stains. And I may do that here, so it's like really super abstract. But on the bee, I have to be careful because I don't want to make it so abstract that it's not recognizable. It just looks off. But I am going to follow some of the loose water stains, and then we'll do some hatching. But I only want to do that once. Usually I go crazy, and I start like sketching every single edge of every single water stain. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do one more layer of these water stains, wet them a little bit, and then we'll do some hatching after that. So one more layer, two more layers of water or whatever. Something like that. One more layer of water, but very specific in very specific areas, you know, right within these shapes within the shapes. In here, definitely in here, that fuzziness. And we have to capture that over there. I think I left this too. I want to add water there. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. No, that needed to soften. Even there. Because this is all the fuzz. That's all the fuzz. The other thing, I'm glad I have this ink. It should confirm that I have, and I can't confirm. What is it? I'm trying. There's like a little transparent area here, but it's so like subtle that I can't tell. It looks like we have enough ink, so I'm gonna call it and say we're good to go with this one. But anything happens, right there. Awesome ink. Really good ink. Doesn't get enough credit. And it does not cost the same. What are we doing here, my friend? What is up with this? What is up with you lately, man? I actually don't know. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh my goodness, that took way too much effort. Awesome ink. Really beautiful coloring. I know there's some people that don't like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, believe me. There are pen and fountain pen snobs. No, it's a preference. Not everybody likes it, but I like that color. And I think I was introduced to it by Glenn Villepeu, longtime artist, worked at Disney. I mean, the man is, I don't know how old he is, but he keeps going and making art and making beautiful drawings. He's just awesome. There's all these different artists to choose from that teach, all these different art teachers. There's, of course, Loomis is a big one. George Bridgman is another one. There's other artists later on. There is an artist, Brambilla, last name Brambilla, Daniela Brambilla, who is from Italy. I like her book. I think she still teaches. She's still teaching. I'm sure she is. And Glenn Villepeu is one that, I don't know, he's such a lovely, just sweet man, sweet person. And it's so easy to learn from him. And he just has a ton of knowledge. I mean, literally a lifetime of knowledge. If you can get your hands on or find his videos, there's some of his videos on YouTube. If you can take even if it's like one of these like 1-shot hour, 2-hour courses or whatever it is, trust me, it's worth it. He's awesome. You learn a ton from him. Fantastic. I am fortunate to have, someone like that you can go and you can find. And then I have had, different drawing teachers that have helped me out quite a lot. So these last 6 years have been transformative. You can set out in the middle of your life and do things that you didn't think were possible that just passed you by. That's not the case. That is not the case at all. All right. Still waiting. I should talk into it. If I talk into it, I will take out this. I will remove the water from there. I'll pull it into me, into my pores. There's also a little bit of water there. There's also a little bit of water there. Let's get our little, what are we doing here? Just want to grab, where's our reference image? Which one is it? There it is. There it is. A little more compact. That one is a little longer. There's a little more space in certain areas. But again, this is ours. We could do whatever we want with it, right? But I will check my drawing with the reference now. The last time, it's kind of interesting, right? You go back and forth. You don't look at the reference, you do look at the reference. You don't look at the reference, you do. And that helps keep the drawing believable and also kind of, nice and fresh. And that is what we're trying to accomplish. Nice and fresh drawing. All right, still. This area is so wet. That's okay though. Maybe I'll draw into that. I'm really worried about our friend here. I'm calling that puddle my friend. Let's see. Where's I had all the scratch paper here. Now I don't have any. Come on. Where is it? Same paper. Do I dare? I'm just being very loose, very abstract flower this is going to be. No attention on, absolutely no attention on too much detail or like the structure. If it's correct, we started doing that and it ended up looking really just very, actually looked flat and lifeless and took away from our main subject, which is our bee. So I like this a little better. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Nice and loose. Notice I'm not even holding it like right from the end of the pen, so I don't get too detailed. And just working my way in and out of the center to the edges. It is not supposed to be an accurate, it's a flower. It's some kind of botanical structure plant. We already have our bee. Watch out with that antenna. Oof, almost caught that antenna. Catching all these different like little, tracing a lot, going inside and outside all these water stains. This is actually really fun. And I get carried away a lot of times with this part of it when I do these pen and ink drawings. And I do this little phase of doing all the texture and stuff like that. I really tend to go too far because I get so enamored by it. It's so meditative. I love it. It is. It's just like pure meditation. This is I don't know why pen and ink, even when it goes badly for me, drawing isn't as successful as I'd like it to be. I find it so meditative and I don't know if I would say natural. I have no idea how to describe it, but it just is. It feels so good to draw in pen and ink. I stopped doing it for a while, and I think that was because we were just doing a lot of, I'm an assistant to watercolor artists, so although I think some of that's slowing down now. It is slowing down now with the summer coming. Nice, all kinds of crazy looking little, there's gonna be zero hatching this area. It's all these water stains. I even go ahead and put that there. I don't know how long this list, I think this playlist, I mashed together all the different playlists that I've used so far on Twitch these last three months, let's say February, March, April, 3 months. We're about to hit into the, make sure the brush is really, really dry. Take the tip. And there we go. Remove a lot of the water here too. There we go. A little more. This last little puddle here. And there we go. All right. So the question is, am I I'll wait to change the lens. Maybe that would be tomorrow where I do more detail, because this is still more shapes. I'm still working on the shapes. Okay. Stretch. Oh. And there we go. And this little, I'm using one of these like saddle seats. This is like the chair that I have. It's not a gamer chair. It's like a saddle seat that you'll see at like the dentist office. Ooh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. That was gonna be bad. It's one of these saddle chairs that you see at the dentist office. And yeah, it's kind of, I've tried so many different chairs. All right, so we lost our friend here, and I need to get that back. I went a little too crazy here, so that's the first thing I want to address. Got that line back. So this is what happens when you get too crazy. You lose the clarity. All right, so I pulled that back out. Okay, good. Go right in here. I'm gonna be moving the paper around a lot. There's a little puddle there too that I need to. Why are you not? Damn. Okay. Again. Go in. And keep the reference up there just in between layers, but don't need that again. Make sure that I don't mess up with the form here. Try not to create any like hard lines. Stay within all these shapes to create good, nice, good textures there. And you know, if I'm successful, hopefully, when I add the water, most of the light and shade will be pretty set. We'll have that second, like that mid-tone color. We're going for like 5 different tones here. Now, or 4, like between 3 to 5 tones. Shades. This is where I get lost. And when I mean lost, like lost in my own thoughts. Think about the world and my place in the universe. Wonder where I am, who I am, where I belong. I think about all that stuff when I'm doing these drawings here like this. I miss this so much, doing a pen and ink drawing. Oh my goodness. Did I miss this so much? Absolutely miss this. Okay. I think I was on like approve it mode or whatever, proving that I know what I'm doing, or I don't know, kind of backfired, and that's good that it backfired, because that's such a silly thing. What a silly thing to try to prove yourself to yourself, you know? Just go and do the thing. Just do the thing. Keep doing the thing. That's the proof. The proof is that you keep doing it. And that, I think, is what happens and makes you go from good to great. Yeah. I don't even necessarily mean like the 10,000 hour rule. I mean, it is. You're putting in the time, but just forgetting, just letting go. You know, having the doing, the journey, I guess, if you want to call it, that's your purpose. That's my purpose. I think about these things a lot. You have all these nice little organic shapes here that aren't necessarily they're not in the reference. However, collectively, they'll give us our subject, our bee. Give us our bee, our honeybee. I don't know what kind of honeybee this is. If it's a Western or African honeybee, no. I think those are the two main ones that I read. I believe those are the two main ones that I read of. Okay, this is, be careful there. Have to be careful here where the wings are. Remember that I need the transparency. Let's not get too silent here. This is very meditative, but yeah, let's make sure we're chatting. Okay, so leaving this line as it is, but I am going to go inside the shapes, especially here. Reinforce that like drop shadow and reinforce that drop shadow. Let's get this going here, and you can't see that. I really like zoomed in here, so you couldn't see some of what I was doing. All right, and let's see a little more. What else are we doing? And move right to this wing in the foreground, and I think that's a better idea. I believe it's a better idea. I'm pretty sure it's a better idea. So that, because if I go too much on the one in the background, then I'm going to have to overwork this one in the foreground. You know what I'm saying? I think. Do I know what I'm saying? Forget about if you know what I'm saying. Do I know what I'm saying? Okay. Here we go. A little more. Let's see. I think it was accidental how I kind of fell on this. Not accidental, I was experimenting a lot. So it was between an accident, seeing somebody else's technique, and I mentioned Glenn Vupu before. So it was between some of his fountain pen techniques and watercolor pencil. That's why I kind of picked up that idea to do that, or inspiration to do that. And then I kind of took it my own expressive way. I mean, it's all expression, right? And it was a combination of not being able to control the water. And just one time I was like, you know what, let me see where I could take this. You know, I made a mistake, and instead of like stopping or changing, turning the page or whatever, I kept going, and I kept doing that, and I started coming up on this this style, or whatever you want to call it. I know we like to call things. We need to name things, but it was my own accidental expression. I like that word. An accidental case of expression, expressiveness. Okay, there we go. Nice. And see, I want to leave that as it is. You know, I don't want to do too much to it. Okay, now, very simple. I'm not going to harden this one. I'm going to do a little bit. And I'll wet that edge later on this wing in the background. But here, I'm going to try to stay inside. I'm not going to touch that edge. And I'm only going to work on the areas that are really clear, where there's really clear water stains here. Right there. Right here. So let's go here. Right there. And again, do not reinforce that line. I'm going to leave it like that. So now that looks a little better. Like it's right behind that one there. And the other problem is this body is back here. And I'm going to give up, but we'll handle it later. I don't want to touch that right now. All right, we have our, let's see where this plant goes. There's some, looking at that big water stain that I spent so much time waiting for. It's still a little damp too. Okay, actually I'm gonna leave it. I am not gonna touch it. All right, I like that. I think I like that. Let's get into our friend's head here. Let's go here, here, and let's go here. Let's go there. This little point there. Maybe this is all dark, like it falls right in there. Atmospheric lines. All right, let's keep going. There's more in here. Sketchbook prompt. I have all these little journal prompts that pop up everywhere. Even though I carry a paper journal. was painting watercolor for a while, and it's good that I did that. I think it's showing here, and I'm a lot more relaxed because I find watercolor pretty scary. Not scary, but stressful. Let's say stressful, not scary. Stressful, but it's really helpful for pen and ink. That was the original reason why I started drawing in watercolor. Painting in watercolor, because there's this socket thing here. I forgot. Okay. Started painting in watercolor because I believe that it would help me improve at pen and ink. Painting definitely has its influence on drawing. To me, it helps me at least improve my drawing abilities. But sometimes like this last few weeks or so, I got really caught up on it. Okay. Let's see now. Get that shape in there. Make sure stay true to these shapes and I don't lose the main areas of light, shade, shadow, texture, and tones. So this area here, actually here, get that whole, let's make that whole area. Did I say I was going to do something here? And let's see. We'll see. All right, where are we going? Do not get lost here. Do not lose the drawing. Do not lose the drawing. It's really important. Do not lose that drawing. We have our make sure we get that nice line there. There's a nice line here. All these lines along the side of the leg. Pretty good. Okay. Again, I don't have to follow it exactly. I don't follow these lines exactly. Just get the general feel for them. Just a general feel for them. And that whole thing is going to be a shadow, deeper shadow. Okay. What else do we got? What else we got here? Right there. Going to do a little local color there. Now that I have some of the ink on the brush. All right, a little more ink on the brush. Working just on the head here. Careful, you see that little puddle that's happening there, but I want to keep the puddle. I'm not going to vacuum it off because there's a nice set of shapes here. I'm going to like massage the water into. See that? Just like kind of like guide it. And the water does what it wants, but you know, you can kind of just guide it a little bit. Just give it like a little nudge here and there. And that's what I'm doing right now, is giving this water. Instead of having it fall like straight down, just giving it a nudge. Just a little nudge here and there. in and out of these lines. In and out of these lines. Let's see now. Go. Again, local. There we go. And if it moves in certain areas and it kind of drops, just like keep going. I try to keep going at least. Don't want to get too caught up in that. Let the water do its own thing. You can guide it, but if it does its own thing, it's going to do its own thing. And that's okay. One good thing about pen and ink over watercolor is watercolor, you have to stay like on point the whole time. Once you put your brush down, you cannot take a break. That is it. You're like committed. Not that I'm not committed here, but I don't have to stay in the exact same spot. But it's good practice anyway to do that. All right, so we have a friend here. I call like these shapes my friend. We have my friend here. My happy little arm. There's, this is like yellow there. See, I just hit that. Wasn't necessarily what I wanted, that little bleeding there, but I think I like it and I'm going to keep it. Let's get this shoulder, just bleed this out here, this section, to reinforce like the you know, that it's round. And go outside this line here to have it drop underneath. So it pops out. And keep guiding that water over here, outside that like ball joint there. And let's see. And then I'll come in here. And there's another line there, like another water stain that I traced, but I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not going to like fill it with water or anything. As a matter of fact, I have to be careful. This is an area I don't want a puddle. That's an area I don't want a puddle. And that's an area I don't want a puddle. And that's why you have the two brushes, or that's why I use the two brushes. I may need more water soon, because you can just pick up some of the excess water where you don't want some. Remember, we left that whole stain there because we wanted that watermark. And I'm just going to reinforce that stain here. Right there. Right there. I am also, I think, going to go right within the shape. And go right within the shape here. Why did I decide to use these giant brushes? And I guess it was because I wanted to have like control, like not to have control, to stay loose, but also you know, develop my own control, my own brush control. And since I've been painting watercolor the last few weeks here on live streams, I think I wanted to kind of, I don't know if it's the right word to say, I wanted to treat myself and see the growth that I had in skill, how much better were my skills with the brush because of painting with watercolor. I don't know if anyone was here. I did a red panda last week. I painted a red panda. Oh my goodness, was that painful. It was okay. It turned out okay, but it turned out okay. All right, careful. This is all that fuzzy area here. So these definitely need to be softer. And then add like a little stain in there. Let's see over here. This needs to be a little softer on this side. Leave that highlight there. Same thing here. This is actually all one shape. So I should be treating it as one shape. Why I didn't, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, have a lapse, a little lapse in judgment. All right, so this I will come back to. I'll do another pen line in there to reinforce it. I'm gonna have to do that anyway. Yeah, because this is going to, this and this area here, this is all black. That I'm not going to define too much, but it does have to go. I mean, it has to like weave in at least and out of that whole flower debacle. That flower debacle. All right. Where were we? I get lost so easily. I get lost so easily in these moments. Okay. What am I going to do here? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do on that wing. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I really don't. I have no idea. What am I going to do here? Oh my goodness. All right, so let's get rid of that little puddle. What am I going to do with this wing so that it still looks transparent? Because I like those lines. Okay, let's start with this one here. This one we're going to just go right over the lines. Go over the lines, let the lines bleed. We don't want the hard lines. We want soft lines. And then I'll just add a little shade right there. Same thing here. Another shape over here. Let's see here. Okay, right within. Same thing here. I like that look. I like that look. Okay. Good. That's good. And our friend here. That's easy. This one's easy. Just let it like bleed out. That shape right there. This wing here. Just let that bleed out. Very, very faint watermark. Okay. What am I doing with you? What are we going to do with you, my friend? What are we going to do with you? This wing in front here. What solution can we come up with? Want to keep. So I went over the lines on this one, right? To soften those lines. Right there. Nice and soften edges, right? I did that here. It's a little bit of water that's hanging out there. Be careful. Let's be careful. All right, leave that water there, but let's just vacuum that up. Okay. And if it gets really bad, you just use the tip of the paper towel. If it gets really, really bad, if you like have like a huge puddle and you can't control it, just grab like, you know, that's why you keep like one of these in hand. So that, or I do. So that what is going on with this? Am I gonna have to washi tape you? I'm gonna washi tape you. You stop moving. Stop moving on me. Come on. Be good. Be nice. Play nice. I'm trying to be good to you. I'm trying to make you fantastic. Do you right. Do you proud. All right, so I went over. Do I go within or outside and leave that highlight there? Oh, but we have we have the edge line there, right? So that I'm not going to touch. The only reason would be to touch it would be to maybe, let's just try it right here, because I could reinforce that line. Let that bleed down, and that becomes that, you know, a little drop shadow there. I'll let it run down. That's okay there. And I'll reinforce that line. But I want this to stay transparent, right? I want that to stay transparent. I want this to still, you know, have that little, let's try that. Let's just go along where the body is. Like if it's, you know, showing a little bit here and there behind it, right? So let's just hit, what if we did that? Let's try this, okay? We're just going to hit the area that falls behind that wing. Let's try that. I'm gonna try that. The fish, and fish is expensive. Oh my goodness. I really hope my partner comes home and she's like, you know what? I ate. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I ate. I had an event or something. Someone brought food. So I ate already. I'm really sorry about that. I know you got fish. I'm gonna eat it. You could eat it. Just eat the whole thing. And I'll be like, no, I'm good. I don't need to eat the fish. It's okay. We're good. I'm not, you don't hurt my feelings. And, you know, so that I don't have to give away the fact that I left the fish out. And it's the warmest day of the year so far. So far. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to fess up. I know I'm gonna have to fess up. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. How long can fish last outside of the refrigerator? Like if you're inside, you know, not in the sun. It wasn't in the sun. It was in a little, like a plastic bag. I don't know. How long can that last? How long until it like goes bad? I have to ask the internet these questions. There. And I think we are done with that layer. There. Okay. I'm not touching this area here. I should, like, just that whole inner area there. I might want to do that. Do that and maybe soften the outside edge. Not clear. I didn't touch the, notice I didn't touch the antenna there. I might leave that as it is and then touch it later. Say this one, I have like the space right there for the one antenna. I don't want to touch it because I almost lost it before on the first wash. So, okay, let's see what we do now. Probably going to wrap this up in about 20 minutes. See what we can do. Maybe we'll look up if anybody's there. If anybody wishes to do that for me, and just like go whisper to me, I don't know, whatever you want to do. How long can fish last outside of the refrigerator? How long? All right, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and try this. Get right inside these shapes. Let's have the water flow right down. whole area here. The inside of, do it really loose. This can be loose because it's, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. Okay. You know, it's good to like stop thinking about something, stop obsessing, is sour candy. So maybe I'll go grab some sour candy so I can chill out and just refocus my attention to this drawing. What do you think? Sour candy? Like really sour candy, like really, really sour candy. That's what you need. That inner side looks good. I want to stay away from the antenna, but I think the softness will kind of help bring it back to life. Help it pop out a little bit, you know? Maybe. Just have to watch that puddle there. And right in there. Just go around it. Really chill. Really chill. No, that's okay there. Gonna leave it. Going to leave it. Let's I am gonna let this bleed here. Let's get this area right in there. And have that be just like the center of our flower. And then add more wash on this side and here, and then go outside there. That's the plan. That is the plan. So let's do that. Do I have enough water? Yeah. No. I thought I had enough water. Let's see, do I have enough water here? Right on this, on the inside there. Just a little bit. Careful. 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 There you go. Let that run. And then I'm going to bring in a big section in here. That's going to be the edge. There's going to be that one area, the dry area. And this is going to go almost to the edge. Almost to the edge. And this, I really don't care if it runs down or not, as long as it doesn't hit the B. As long as it doesn't hit the B. Stay within some shapes. Let it connect. Let it all connect. Connect. Careful. Really careful here. Okay. I'll leave that as is. It's like this little, you have to be so, I don't know, frustrating is a word. I guess it is frustrating. Like if you kind of hesitate and fall just short, it shows, but you also have to be careful because, you know, screw up the whole thing. You don't want to screw up that whole thing. Let's get down, have this all Careful, careful, careful. Suck that out. Little vacuum sponge. That's what these are, like a little combination of a vacuum and a sponge. Okay, that's okay. Leave that hard line there, put that little stain there. And I think that looks nice. That looks pretty, right? Let's just, I'm going to get rid of that whole line there. There's a little thing that I lost. Lost this, I mean, it's okay. It's exactly vital to the believability of that. I'm going to say goodbye. Take care. I wish you very well. I'll see you tomorrow. I will be here from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard US time until 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard US time, New York City time. And maybe I'll see you around on Twitch on someone else's stream. So have a good evening, rest of the afternoon, sleep well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.